Welcome once again. I'm yours truly. I hope that this video finds you and yours doing well. Definitely want to send a big shout out to all of those who are standing in need of prayer. Those who have lost their homes, whether it be in Texas or Florida, any of the coastal parts of the United States, and those who are now seeking shelter here in California from the fires. So, there's always something, and we always need to remember that we must keep our family, our loved ones in prayer. With that being said, I'm going to go right into this. So we're going to cover the landmarks of the Order of the Eastern Star. And there are 15 landmarks of the Order of the Eastern Star. The first landmark states that the Eastern Star is the basis of the 5 degrees of the adoptive right. The names and characters of the rites are unchangeable. That's landmark number 1. Landmark number 2. Its lessons are scriptures. Its teachings are moral, and its purpose are beneficiary. Landmark number 3. Its obligations are based upon the honor of the female sex, who obtains it through its ceremonies, and are framed upon the principles that whatever benefits are due by the Masonic family to the wives, widows, daughters, and sisters and adopted sisters of a Master Mason, corresponding benefits are due from them to the Brotherhood. So in landmark number 3 is just basically saying that in order to be an Eastern Star, basically is that you must have been adopted by a Master Mason, a wife, a sister, a widow, or an orphan. Those are the individuals who can become members of the Eastern Star. Okay. Number 4, it says each candidate shall be declared or shall declare belief in a supreme being. Once again, if you want to be a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, landmark number 4 states that you must believe in a supreme being. Period. Number 5, the mode of recognition, which are particular secrets of the rites, cannot be without destroying the foundation of the system. So even in the adopted rites of the Order of the Eastern Star, they have their own secrets, their own initiation rites, okay? And the system be changed, okay? The system cannot be changed. So you must understand in landmark number 5, I'm going to go over that again because it's very important. The mode of recognition, which are the particular secrets of the rites, cannot be without destroying the foundation of the system. You need that in order to maintain the system. Landmark number 7. A covenant of secrets voluntarily assumed in its particular form and force of subject obligation. There is no possibility of release. So in other words, once you take that covenant of secrecy in the Order of Eastern Star, there's no going back. That's landmark number 6. Landmark number 7. The control of the rites lies in the central hand, styled the grand chapter of the adopted rites, or in the prerogative of the grand patron. Okay? Once again, the control of the rites lies in the central hands, styled grand chapter. Okay? Then it says the progressive rights of the organization belongs to the grand patron. So the Order of the Eastern Star can govern itself, but you need a grand patron. You need a grand patron, one that can be appointed by the Grand Master. In some cases, the Grand Master himself holds that position as the grand patron. Number 8. The ballot for the candidate for membership must be unanimously. In other words, everyone must agree. If that person receives an unfavorable ballot, then they cannot be part of the Order of the Eastern Star. Once again, that person balloting must be favorable. Everyone must agree that that person is a fit. If one person says no, then they are out. Okay. Number 9. It is the right of every chapter to be the judge of who they shall admit to its membership. Once again, it is the right of every chapter to be the judge of who shall be admitted into its membership. In other words, a grand chapter cannot tell you who you should and not allow to be a part of your chapter. In other words, if you're doing an interview of a sister and you find this sister is favorable, you feel that this sister will make a good member for the order, and the whole chapter votes and says yes, the grand chapter cannot say no unless something just really just outrageous. This person has done some foul stuff and it just came out. Really, it has to be like over the top. But other than that, the chapter makes that decision. And while I'm on that, a grand chapter cannot do an initiation at a grand chapter setting. Only chapters do initiations. Once again, only chapters do initiation. Grand chapters do not do initiations. And if they do, show it to me in writing where they do it at. Unless it is written in their constitution or somewhere like that they can do that, or however they want to word it, then that's their organization. But as far as the landmarks are concerned, a grand chapter does not do initiations. Okay? Now, number 10. Every member must conform to the laws and regulations of the Order of the Eastern Star. Number 10 states that every member must conform to the laws and rules and regulations of the order. Okay, it may be tried for offenses. Okay, so in other words, once you make that obligation, that covenant of agreement, you've agreed to conform to the Order of the Eastern Star, there is no going back. Once you break that or something comes up, you can be brought up and tried before the chapter. Okay? All right. Number 11. It is the right of every member to appeal from a decision of the chapter to the grand chapter. So if something happens in your chapter, you have a right to appeal to the grand chapter. Okay? Number 12. It is the prerogative of the grand patron to preside over every assembly of the right. So the grand patron, whether it be appointed or whether it be the grand patron of Grand Master, he has a right to reside over every Eastern Star chapter. He has a right to visit every chapter, period, because that chapter works up under his jurisdiction. Okay? And to the great dispensation for the formation of a new chapter. So you can't organize a new chapter unless the grand patron says it's okay. You can't do it. That's in landmark number 12. All right? Every chapter has a right to dispense the light of adopted rights to administer its own private affairs. That's number 13. Once again, number 13 states that every chapter has a right to dispense the light of adopted rights and to administer its own private affairs. So they have a right to do their initiations, to administer the light of the Eastern Star, and to administrate their own affairs, period. Number 14, every chapter should elect and install its officers annually. Every year you should have an Eastern Star chapter meeting to hold your elections. Granted, sometimes you ain't gonna be able to get everybody there, and that's just the way it is. However, I would say that if I was Grand Master and I find that worthy matrons are holding up the elections for the sisters because they want to stay in the East, so they don't hold elections this month, they'll write a letter asking the Grand Lodge, could they, or the Grand Master, the Grand Patron that is, could they like hold off on their elections? No, you hold your elections and stop holding up progress. Hold your elections and stop holding up progress. That's the only way you're going to build your chapter. You know, if that person didn't do such a great job during the year, vote them out, put someone else in, and let's see what we can do. That's what you should do. You know, that's how you should really work that thing. Landmark number 15. It is the rights of every member to visit and to sit in every regular chapter, except when such visitors is likely to be disturbing the harmony of the chapter. So if you're an Eastern Star and you're traveling, you have a right to visit other chapters. That is an inherited right. However, if they're taking care of business and they tell you to come another time, respect that. If they tell you that nobody there can vouch for you, respect that. Now, if they say it's okay to come in and they ask you to approach the altar as such, you should be able to do that. Okay? So those are your 15 landmarks of the Order of the Eastern Star. Hope you got something from that. And the next thing we're going to cover is what I call membership. Membership in the Order of the Eastern Star. Let's look at this here. So it says membership in the Order of the Eastern Star is by unanimous election or by affiliation. The body, when assembled, is called a chapter of the Order of the Eastern Star, which shall be composed of male and female, a patron, and then females. It must consist of not less than 7 ladies who are the wives, mothers, widows, sisters, or daughters, and adopted sisters of a master mason in good standings. That master mason must be in good standings, people. The benefit of this right are primarily for women, the existence of which will be dependent upon the spirit within the right they enter into the conduct of their affairs. Okay, so here again, the benefit of this right are primarily for the sisters, brothers. Okay, the female members of this right are called sisters. Male members are called brothers. The lawful recipients of the adopted rights, such worthy females being wives, mothers, widows, daughters, adopted sisters, and sisters of an affiliated master mason, as may be regularly proposed by one and recommended by another member of the chapter. So in other words, the master mason can say this is a great member. The sisters, on the other hand, have to interview that person when they're becoming a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. Okay? The petition must be in all cases be referred to the committee, where there should be at least 3 people on the committee for investigation, and lay over at least 1 regular meeting before the balloting. So in other words, you want to make sure that you are able to get this. Here's the application, come back, read it. Then the investigation team goes out and investigates and comes back with their findings. Okay? The sister or daughter of the Mason, if unmarried, must have attended at the age of 18. So you must be at the age of 18 in order to be an Eastern Star. Some jurisdiction may say 21, some may say 20. It just depends on the jurisdiction for which you are seeking your membership in. Master Masons affiliated in a regular lodge may be a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. Okay? And they also must be elected in, selected in. So a brother who's a Master Mason wants to be an Eastern Star, he must petition too. Hey, I'm reading this from a book. So don't say I'm just talking out the side of my neck. No, I'm actually reading this. So yeah, I'm actually reading this. So a brother who looks to be an Eastern Star, petition his chapter. I want to be an Eastern Star. Okay, when you're a good brother and fella in membership in a lodge, okay, yes, I am. Okay, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to offer you the covenant of adoption. Now, me personally, I was actually initiated in Eastern Star. I was actually initiated. Yes, I was. And it was interesting, and I loved it. And I think every brother who looks to be a member of the Order of the Eastern Star just should not take the covenant. They should be initiated. That's my personal opinion. Now, so that's dealing with the membership. So once again, I hope you got something out of this. And till we meet again, as always, keep your light on and stay out them bushes. I'm out.